It's for all.
Trekking to Everest Base Camp is considered one of the most beautiful treks in the world. For various reasons, 99.9% of people will never walk this path. Here's Sasha, Artyom, Kirill, and your humble servant. Hello everyone, we're in Kathmandu, flew to Nepal to get to the Everest Base Camp. Base Camp is a place at the foot of Mount Everest, where once a year in spring, during the best season for climbing, they build a large tent camp for about 500 people. It is located at an altitude of 5,346 meters above sea level, and that's where climbers live and train for a while before the ascent, to get their bodies used to the altitude. The ascent itself might take up to 60 days and cost from $50,000 to $100,000. It's a challenge only for experienced mountaineers. Between the base camp and the summit, there are 4 more intermediate camps. Each of them can be accessed by helicopter for evacuation. However, everything above 8,000 meters is a death zone. The chances of you being rescued from there are practically zero, because a rescue attempt in most cases leads to the death of both people. In the history of mountaineering, there are only 2 successful rescue attempts from such heights. Muscles at this altitude work at about 15% of their strength. About 12,000 people climbed the mountain throughout the years, and only 3% of them were women. 1 in 40 didn't make it back. Unless you're a desperate millionaire climber, a trek to base camp will probably be enough for you. It takes about 12 days and costs $1,000. There are some complications on arrival. First, you have to fill out some form on the right side of the gate. Then you have to pay $50 for visa. There's an ATM, but the queue is long. There's a currency exchanger. Then we got a passport control. Sasha has read somewhere that this SIM card incel will work in the mountains. So we bought it right away.
Helicopter, 1 person, to Lukla, 250.
There were tons of people at the airport who want to offer their help. In the hotel, I withdrew 40,000 rupiahs with a 625 rupiah fee. I used an Indonesian bank card. Before the journey, we were warned about possible problems with food in Nepal, but we didn't encounter any because we were staying at the Hyatt place and their food was incredible.
Taxi?
The idea to visit the base camp sparked a few years ago, but I just haven't had either enough time or motivation to do it. But recently, everything fell into place. I've been feeling rather blue, broke up with my girlfriend, and I just didn't know what to do anymore. I wanted to make some drastic changes to my life, and that's when the idea came back up again. My friends supported me, and here we are.
Tikhomirov travel. Tikhomirov.
The city's very dusty and damn dirty. We're going to Thamel neighborhood. It's a city center. We gotta buy the equipment there. Well, that's certainly a challenge, but there's no need to rush. We're gonna go around the stores and see what options we have. We have today and tomorrow to buy all the essentials. It's important to buy high-quality sunglasses with category 4 of UV protection. I also got some simple pants I can turn into shorts. Trekking poles are a must-have, so they recommend these gloves, right? A bottle of water. They also recommended to take this fleece jacket as a second layer. All the shop assistants gave me different information on the temperature at the base camp, on what to take. But this man looked very competent, and I definitely could trust him. During the last hike, my toes got a little cold in these, but that's okay. I thought we'd be looking for some rental equipment, but we decided to just buy everything. Oh, look who's here! This is my Chinese partner, Arden. He handles the production of our brand, Born to Be. I also got myself this thin, waterproof jacket. Look at this cool merino wool hat. And also a scarf. Okay, that's enough for today. We'll get the rest tomorrow. The taxi is unpleasant to say the least. There are no normal, clean cars. Cheers.
Cheers to us all.
To the ascent. We came to this beautiful place.
Hey guys.
Hello! 10 rupees.
10 rupees?
Yes. Dollar no. Yeah, Nepali, yes. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
What the fuck was that?
Yeah.
So we were told that we need to buy tickets. For staying here, we paid 1,000 rupees each.
Namaste. Looky.
Driving down these streets is a damn rally.
It's the same in India.
As you can see, nobody lets the pedestrians cross the road.
Holy crap, Sasha. He almost ran over a person.
I stuck my phone out the window and 10 seconds later it got covered in a layer of dust. You need about 100,000 local rupees for the entire trip. Make sure to have some cash on you. The entire video was shot on an iPhone 13 Pro, GoPro 11 Black Edition, and DJI Mavic 3 Mini Pro. And Kirill added several shots made on his Sony A7S Mark III. You can see how inspired I am by the adventure that lies ahead. On our second shopping day, we accidentally wandered into an off-brand shop and were pleasantly surprised by low prices. I took the thermal pants here, which ended up being so tight I couldn't sleep in them. I took a light-down jacket just in case, but I didn't need it. 3 pairs of socks enough to last me the entire trip, and a raincoat I didn't use. And also a big hiking backpack where I put all my gear. And also this backpack is gonna come in handy when I'm taking all this stuff back to Bali. I gave those boys 100, but decided to give 1,000 to these kids because I thought they'd split the cash. Fuck no. I wish I hadn't done that, and now you'll see why.
Baba. Hello, Baba. Okay, one second.
It's for all. It's for all. It's for all. It's for all.
It's always nice to see people smile instead of being negative when you take a video of them. I get the impression that everyone here runs a small business. Yeah, they shoot TikTok videos too. Crazy cowley dog.
Meow. Аналог диатарпа.
We took altitude sickness pills, ibuprofen, painkillers, and we also got food poisoning pills.
This also same time using, yeah.
And here's a good thing for staying hydrated. And now we're packed with all the meds.
He give.
It's original. I have fake also.
We'll also need thick sunscreen, carabiners to strap on a water bottle, and a sunscreen lipstick. I decided to take an expensive original thermal top. I also had to buy the pants there. Either the cab app doesn't work here or the cab drivers don't know how to use it. But I found a way out. You have to take his phone and find the route on Google Maps so that he drives using his phone as a guide. Sasha arranged for the hotel to provide us with a helicopter to Lukla for $350. It's a good deal, and we came here to pay the price. Car payment plus 3.5%.
Success.
We could also take insurance to get evacuated by the helicopter, but we decided not to because we had the pilot's contacts and we can just call him in case something happens. In fact, you don't even need any contacts. The helicopters operate there like buses. You can always figure something out. Okay, here's a life hack. Listen up. I tried to hail a cab, and first things first, I stated the price I was willing to pay, which no cab driver agreed to, and they started haggling. Then they begged me to come back, but I refused to do that just on principle. So, the life hack is to offer an extremely low price initially, and then you'll pay an even less than expected. The next morning, we arrived at the airport, checked in, and we were waiting to board the helicopter.
Not good. What to do?
He's apologizing our heli was delayed due to the weather. Hey, this woman is like the Oracle from the Matrix. Another advantage of helicopters is that it's not so dependent on the weather. Planes can be delayed for several days, and there's a chance of just getting stuck in the mountains. It'll take us 40 minutes to get from Kathmandu to Lukla. Here's some important information on flying from Kathmandu to Lukla. You can only fly directly from Kathmandu by helicopter. If you want to save a bit of money and go by plane, you will have to go to another city first. It's a 5-hour drive. And if you want to save even more money, you can drive as far into the mountains as possible and then walk. But this way, your trek would take not 12, but 20 to 25 days. Lukla Airport is considered one of the most dangerous airports in the world because the runway is at an altitude of 2,860 meters. It is only 527 meters long and has a 12% slope. On one side of it, there's a rock, and on the other, there's a precipice. We got out of the airport and now we'll go buy permissions and look for a porter. And today we're moving to our next spot, which is about 8 kilometers away, and we're gonna stop there. So we're going somewhere uphill. Maybe it's not this way. Once again, our main goal is to find a porter, a person who will carry our bags. And here he is, I guess. I knew right away that this man was perfect and immediately offered him a job.
Can you be mine? And I have this one.
2 porters. How many days? $25. 1 day. Okay.
25. Maybe expensive.
How much you give you?
I offered him $20 a day, and he agreed. Look at this dude.
Hello.
We could do the shopping here, but I think it'd be more expensive. In fact, there were closed stores in all the villages, so don't worry if you didn't have any time to buy something in Kathmandu. Actually, maybe we shouldn't have eaten at the airport because there are a lot of interesting cafes around. They look really nice and the view is amazing. Barbershops here. Judging by the way he's getting up, it's probably about 100 kilos, maybe even more. And he's going to the mountain right away. We wanted to hire 3 porters, but they told us we should take only 2 and pay them more. I don't really like what they've done. Now you can't take anything out and you can't put anything in, but oh well, it's comfortable for them.
We give you the base camp.
That's a pain to get the stuff out. You have to buy 2 different permissions on your way out of Lukla. It's too damn hot here.
Hello, nice to meet you. I'm Nadia. Nice to meet you, Sasha.
Oh, I couldn't even imagine I'd need this jacket so soon. Okay, I don't get how to use poles yet. I need to get used to them. But overall, I think it's a very cool thing because even when I climb Batur, my knees hurt, especially on the descent. I don't know if it's just a pose or not, but during the whole hike, my knee didn't hurt as bad as it did during the hour-and-a-half climb up and down the volcano Batur in Bali. Okay, I'm trying to just adjust to the pose little by little. By the way, I'm wearing shorts and sneakers, and yet I'm getting a little hot. And actually, the sneakers were comfortable enough to hike all the way up and down the mountain. Our trip was quite spontaneous, and we were very lucky that I had this idea exactly in October, as it's the best time to trek to Everest Base Camp. And if you're wondering why October is the best time for that, it's simple. It's very hot in the summer and it's very cold in the winter.
Hello.
And there's a building for the main drum. Drum the boss. I'm not quite sure where I am. It's either a school or an orphanage.
Wow. Tattoo.
We want meat. Tattoo. Meat. On God.
Okay, one more tattoo.
Wow. 3.
3. Thank you. All right, bye-bye.
Some Russian guys recommended these altitude sickness pills. We need to take them beforehand. The altitude is rather low, yet it says over there that it's 2,580 meters.
When not season, you work? Yeah.
Home.
Go home?
Farmer.
You farmer, yeah.
Yes, please.
What you produce?
Potato.
Potato.
And maize, meat, rice.
It's starting to rain. Everyone is putting on raincoats, and I'm happy to have this waterproof jacket. The highest altitude I've ever been to was a Canggu volcano in Bali, 3,000 meters. I've never climbed anywhere else. I'm here with absolutely no training, plus I've just recovered and taken several courses of antibiotics. We'll see whether I'll have a hard time or if I can do it easily. And there's a bunch of people here, the elderly, women, all with backpacks. And we're young guys going light, probably it'll be super easy. However, I didn't know yet that only 30% of people reached the base camp. We made it to the hotel. It's something like this. Almost all the hotels look more or less the same. You know what's interesting? A room is only 500 rupees. It's $4. But that's if you eat at their restaurant. If you eat somewhere else, you'll be charged 2,000 rupees. Well, both the sneakers and the shorts are wet, but I don't give a crap because I'll change them anyway. The real question is, how do I dry street clothes, if anything? Later I found out there's a hairdryer for that, but I never used it. The food looks wonderful. You can charge your phone only in the hotel bar, so it's more convenient to use a power bank. During our trip, pretty ladies were an extremely rare sight. The dreams tonight were kind of crazy. And, you know, I saw Artyom wake up and we felt like it was a bit difficult to breathe even though the altitude is not that high yet. But I couldn't help but think, damn, what'll it be like at 5,000 meters? It's still wet. It's very good that I have 2 pairs of shoes. We start our next day with a delicious breakfast. It's a yak's girlfriend's cheese. Do you have 500? Now we're going to Namche Bazaar. It'll take us about 7 or 8 hours to get there. Oh, by the way, I can wear this look to go snowboarding in Sochi. I can wear this jacket as well. Oh my, I look like a professional snowboarder. Open up.
What are you, the Lord of Dogs?
It's kind of annoying that the porters take the bags in the mornings and go ahead to the mountains. Like, you might want to take a raincoat or it got cold and you want to change your clothes, put away a water bottle, and you can't do any of that because they went away. Anyway, I'd recommend talking to your porter at the very beginning and telling him not to walk away from you. You'll see about 10 suspension bridges of different heights and beauty along the route. Look at this rock. It fell from there. Be cautious and mind your surroundings.
Namaste! Namaste! Namaste!
By the way, Artyom is my Chinese partner. He lives in China. How many years?
More than 12 years. I've lost count already.
Over 12 years in China. He speaks Chinese. If it wasn't for him, born to be that we know today would be completely different. I don't even know what it would be like.
Yeah, it certainly would be different. Now we're in the Himalayas.
There were
right?
mostly foreigners on the route. It was extremely rare that we heard a Russian voice. And all along the way, we often had to walk around the yaks on a narrow path. I asked Harka what these writings are. It's some kind of Buddhist language. The Buddhists left the signs here. Sometimes they check bags here, mostly the ones you carry yourself. The bags that porters carry are not usually checked. Standing in queue, my favorite. They asked for the cars that we bought in the beginning, but Artyom couldn't find them and he had to pay for the permissions again. On the one hand, sunny weather would be nice, but on the other hand, the vibe wouldn't be the same. After 5 hours of walking, everything is getting wet. I can feel that my shoes are drenched too, my pants. It's a good thing we're staying at Namche Bazaar for 2 nights. We'll have enough time to dry our clothes. Also, the weather is expected to be better next week. That's nice. When we were planning this trip, we didn't check the weather forecast. But I'd recommend checking at least the weather in Namche Bazaar. As far as I understand, the garbage is collected in pits like this and burned.
To keep the cattle away.
But you got through. The greatness. Wow. The Himalayas. We're sitting in the middle of the Himalayas and are headed to Everest. Holy shit. Another checkpoint. Damn it. But I just went through and no one cared. We finally reached Namche Bazaar. The altitude is about 3,500 meters. No change in the oxygen level. It's easy to breathe and Kirill stays here. He'll be waiting for us for a week. There's even a fountain, look! As for hotels, or as they call it here, logias, they can be reserved on booking sites. But I asked our porter to look for a logia and he did a pretty good job.
Yeah, it's yours. Wow, it's good. Solomon. 26,000.
Sasha and Artem noticed that Harka's shoes were torn and soaked through and bought him a new pair for $200. I've probably never seen such genuine, unrestrained joy. Speaking of shoes, he wore his old ones for 15 years. I woke up to use the bathroom. Now, for the first time on this trip, I can see these white snow-capped peaks. We had a better sleep this night. There was no anxiety from the lack of oxygen, so yeah, I slept really well. No stuffy nose yet. I've heard that at altitude, the immune system activates the body's reserves and you don't get sick.
Okay?
Okay.
Enough?
Yes.
Have a drone in my pocket? I think it's really cool that they're so small and light these days. The first drone, that huge thing, Phantom 1, that you can't even put in a backpack. You have to carry a separate large case for it, and then there's this thing.
It's a prayer wheel. You can spin it as you walk past, and when it makes a full circle, your prayer is heard. It's like Muslims when they perform salah, but Buddhists spin the wheels. They do this all the time. Every time they see the wheels.
Okay, so we got to the helipad. Oh, look at it. The helipad is 100 meters above Namche Bazaar, which we decided to visit this morning. There's a security behind me. I wasn't aware yet that drones are strictly forbidden here. Can you go to the base camp by helicopter? The answer is yes, but we wouldn't be able to stay there for more than 15 minutes because of the pressure changes. In fact, we didn't even consider that option because for us, the goal didn't make any sense without the journey itself. By the way, we could go back to Kathmandu from here by heli, and that's exactly what we did. There are only 14 8,000-meter peaks in the world, and 8 of them are here in Nepal, including the highest peak on Earth, Mount Everest or Jaimalangma, 8,848 meters.
The water's freezing cold. It's like laundry, you know?
Artyom is explaining that it's where the locals wash their clothes.
Harka, do you have dream? Do you have dream? What? What dream?
I dream is children schools.
Is what?
First, my children school.
Ah, school for children. Yeah.
Every country working and then send money. I'm making plan, home, weekend, car, motorcycle.
Ah, yeah.
Okay, we have an acclimatization climb today, 3,850 meters. We're going uphill from Namche Bazaar. We went on the acclimatization climb in the afternoon, and by then the sky was clouded. I'd recommend you to wake up at 6 a.m. It'll take an hour and a half to get here. Then you drink tea or coffee, have breakfast, and enjoy this fascinating view. It'd be so cool to sit here if it weren't so cloudy. I try to lay my hands on the descent as much as possible so as not to strain my knees. Holy cow, these rocks are damn heavy. As someone who has done weightlifting, I can say they weigh at least 100, if not 120 kilos. All of these rocks. You know, people brought themselves. Then these stones are molded into rectangular blocks used to build houses. Oh my God. I've got this funny feeling like there's no other life. There's only this one now here. I won't say live in the moment because it's cliche. And you guys, what do you think about this idea?
About cliche?
No, about the feeling that there's no other chance to live.
Agree. It really is this way.
Life in Bali, building, you don't
think about it. You're constantly busy hiking, walking, talking to people, reflecting on things. I even talked to Sasha about it today. In the city, it's one thing, but when we're here, it's like you don't have to play roles, right? As if you can be the real you. In the city, you have to be an entrepreneur, a businessman, someone in charge or whatever. But it's not the case here. You know, it's like when you go out with your friends, hang out, and you're just living your life. Great feeling.
Oh my God, there's even a bar here. Well, this is basically all I need for the Everest base camp. And it's really convenient that we can leave the things we don't need with Kirill and Namche Bazaar to make it easier for the porters. Okay, we're moving to the next location. It turned out that to fly drones without problems, you have to have a permission that costs 1,500. I didn't pay anything, of course, and decided to take a risk. Some local guy tried to threaten me. He said, "You can't use drones here, I'll snitch on you." And I lied that I have a permission, but decided to hide the drone anyway. The sunscreen is super cool. You see? stays on for a while.
I decided to split up with the guys. I stayed in a village at an altitude of 3,400 meters. Namche Bazaar. It's right here. It's not a green screen in my room.
As you can see, Kirill found a more comfortable place to sleep. As for mine, I didn't care.
It's with hot water? Yeah. Wow. Balcony. Wow.
It's the hotel owner. I don't know why she's doing the dishes.
Excuse me. I want to ask, it's your hotel? It's your hotel?
Yeah.
Ah, cool. You owner.
Okay.
Can you ask on a few questions?
Kirill and I live in Bali, and it was very unexpected to meet a famous Balinese blogger here.
Oh, cool. I subscribe on you.
Oh, yeah, thank
cool,
you.
Bro. Wow, cool.
Kirill decided to stay because he didn't want to hike. He just wanted to spend time in a beautiful place. So let's leave Kirill be and go back to our trek. By the way, we're gonna go to another village, Canggu, and our porter said that there are no vacant rooms there. But Kirill somehow managed to book us something. Cow dungs are dried in the sun so that they can be used later as fuel. There are even special farms for that. Hey there! There's another checkpoint along the way, but as I understand it, those who want to stand in line and wait, and who doesn't want to just pass by. As for the people on the trek, I was surprised to find out there were so many. I've just eaten a disgusting sandwich and drank some really gross coffee that smelled like shit and had a damn weird taste, so I took the food poisoning pills that we had bought in Kathmandu, just in case. And I continued taking one altitude sickness pill every day. Sasha, our third companion, hasn't started taking altitude sickness pills yet. He wants to test himself, I suppose. But he's been to Everest before, so he's got some experience, but I don't want to risk it. By the way, climbing Everest is considered much more difficult than trekking to the base camp. 4G is still available mid-route. It's that SIM card that we bought at the airport. The altitude is almost 3,900. Tengboche Village. Trekker's Lodge. It's still easy to breathe, but that's not surprising. Look at the greenery all around. This is a room we booked, and look, there's a shower. But it's got a lock on it because the shower is for a fee. Artem bought the boots for 24,000. They're already starting to tear. Maybe it's a fake, but we got it in an official store. We're going to a temple. Harka says this is the oldest and biggest temple in Nepal. Some kind of ceremony should start here right now. 3 of the 4 Buddhas of our era were born in Nepal.
This way?
This way.
So apparently you can't spin the prayer wheels this way, only that way. One of the basic concepts of Buddhism is getting rid of worldly suffering by avoiding extremes. Not to lead a luxurious life, but also not to limit oneself too much. It's the so-called middle way, which provides clarity and true detachment. It's an invitation to the ceremony. Well, they kicked us out of the ceremony because they said we need to clean up, get out, come back in half an hour. There were some old people sitting there. They kicked all the Europeans out. People are standing outside and no one understands what's going on. Not a welcoming place. It'd be better if they just closed the door and didn't let anyone in at all.
Thank you.
I decided to take a shower for the first time in 4 days. Artyom said that the water in the previous hotel was cold. But here it's nice and hot, very pleasant. I'm feeling a little weird. Maybe it's because I'm sunburned. My ears burn. Nepali said. Look, it's a river source. The next morning we paid for the hotel. It's the only place that accepts cards. And we're heading to the next location. Harka is very talkative. He keeps finding new people to chat with along the way.
Все удивляются, как так? Ребята, не может быть. Ребята, ну может.
Can you go to Everest Base Camp without a guide and a porter? Damn good question. Now, people do travel alone, but I've read somewhere online that soon it'll be prohibited to hike without a guide. We're at an altitude of a bit over 4,000 now. Artem says he's starting to get a bit of a headache.
Да, простите, не собрались, разбежались.
It's hot.
Просто забыли. И ты идешь по тем же тротуарам.
Probably many people will say that it looks very easy. Just a walk in the park, and they're more or less right. It is an easy enough walk, not so difficult, but that's not the point. It's not about having a hard time hiking. It's about understanding how your body will behave at different altitudes. Sure, taking altitude sickness pills is cheating, but still. It's very interesting now. We're climbing up to 4,400 and we'll stay there for 2 days. What's it gonna be like? Then we'll reach 55 and 5,600. How are we gonna feel? We reached Dingbache village, where we'll spend 2 days and do an acclimatization climb. Look at that! That's a service! In case you didn't get it, we're surprised to have a toilet in the room. It's a pretty well-developed place. So you expect that the higher you go, the less developed the settlements will be. But here, all the villages are more or less the same. A door closer. Come in. It's nice here. Rice and chicken. Altitude 4,400 meters continues surprising us with good food. And after that, we can only lounge around, surf the net, and get ready for sleep. First, I lie down in my clothes, and when the bed gets warm enough, I can take some things off. See you tomorrow. Okay, today I'm adding a second layer of clothes. It's damn cold. Someone is going on the acclimatization climb even before breakfast. And I decided to follow their example. It got hot quickly, and I left my down jacket on the way up. But on the way down, I couldn't find it. Look at the way the tissue box is blown up. The same thing is happening to our heads. Man, it's such a freaking pleasure to walk all alone. When I say alone, I mean without crowds of other people, when you're alone with nature. Artyom and I wanted to go together. He said, let's wait for Sasha. I waited for a few minutes and went by myself. My daily dose of altitude sickness pills. By the way, I've noticed that some people here have the wrong pose. They should be like this. With iron tips that don't slip on rocks and sticking to the ground, suitable for any surface, in short. 5,500 meters.
Если будет так, что ты не зажжешь моя.
The base camp where we're going is only 200 meters above this point, and Mount Kala Parar is only 500 meters above, so I don't think there'll be any problems. I don't want my nose to become like his, so I asked him for sunscreen.
Yeah.
Okay, so I saved my nose. People are gathering slowly. I went out at about 7 a.m. I think there'll be 100 people here in an hour, maybe more. Artyom finally came. 20 minutes later, Sasha still not here. Every morning would start out clear, and then closer to lunchtime, everything would gradually get covered with clouds. Can you even imagine how absolutely beautiful it's in there? Look at its might! And every day it looked like this in the afternoon. So we tried to go out early in the morning. Here are the people who had breakfast and are only now going up. Unfortunately, they've missed it all. Oh, look at this dog. It's resting so cozily. It feels great up there, but when you come back, you feel a little bit rough. And then, as usual, you stay on your phone, eat and laze about until you get sleepy. Everything's so cold, the blanket, the pillow. We pay for 2 days and move on to a new location. So we're ready for the 7th day of our adventure. We're moving from Dingboche.
Amadablam. Lupche. No. Island Peak.
Island Peak.
Yes,
Island Peak is one of the easiest mountains to climb here. And if you have experienced climbing, I would recommend Island Peak instead of Kala Padhar. We're going to Lobuche. It's a small village at the foot of the mountain, Lobuche. And tomorrow, finally going to Everest Base Camp. That's the plan. As you can see, some people don't bother with equipment at all. My fingertips tingle like crazy. This is a father and daughter who we met at the very beginning of the trail. They're already going back because they did not go to Kala Padhar and didn't stay for 2 more nights for acclimatization. I take the pills every day just like you advised, and I haven't had a headache. Yeah, great. When you reach Dingboche, you'll pass a memorial to the fallen mountaineers. Yeah, I even ran into some familiar names there. Valerie made the first successful jump from 6,000 meters from the slope of Mount Amadablam. During the second jump, Valerie died because of a strong headwind.
All right. Okay.
We went out for a walk and decided not to take the poles. Mistake. Always take the poles. Now I take the poles wherever I go. Volcanoes, mountains, whatever is crucial. Really damn crucial. We're climbing rocks. You have to watch the clouds very carefully. If they come here suddenly, it will be difficult to find the way back. It's 5,000 meters after all, so if anything happens, no one will help us. Okay, let's go for about 20 minutes more up to that spot. Okay, we're here. In this area, on Google Maps, there was supposed to be a glacier. Apparently, the Google Maps image is very old because the glacier has long been hidden under a thick layer of rocks and dust. Artemis had a headache all day today. Like the whole day?
The whole day.
Is it too bad? You've already taken 2 pills.
Yeah, ibuprofen and an altitude sickness pill.
So 3 in total?
Yeah, 3.
Is it getting better?
No, don't know why. I told you. It's like my head's getting squeezed. It feels really weird.
But it's bearable.
It's fine.
So in the afternoon, we went to see a glacier that no longer exists. And now we're going for another one. People say it does. Well, this is what the glacier looks like. It's pretty similar to what we saw recently. It's the first time we've encountered a situation where you can't find a vacant spot in a restaurant. It's all packed. Yeah, that's how we live. So that's crazy, but we woke up at 5 a.m. and we were about to head out, but we saw the people sleeping here, right in the restaurant. Harka said he slept on the floor. He said all the sofas were occupied. A lot of people slept here. I guess it's out of the ordinary. We just happened to witness it. We're heading out to the base camp. Today, I put on 3 layers of clothes for the first time, thermal underwear, a fleece jacket, and this waterproof jacket. We're going out at 6 a.m. There's a chance that we'll visit both the base camp and Kala Padhar in the evening if it's sunny and clear. Looking ahead, of course, we won't have the energy for Kala Padhar. Or we'll spend one more night in Gorakshep and climb Kala Padhar the next morning. It's a completely different kind of fun to be the first one out on the trail. You walk and feel like a little person in this vast expanse. No one's talking, there's no one in the front, no one in the back. 10 out of 10. And the higher you are, the earlier you wake up. After 5 a.m., my eyes snap open on their own. The sun has come out. So beautiful. Just look at that. It's good that Artyom and I are moving at the same pace, in the same rhythm. It's convenient. Sasha always goes alone at his own pace. It's hot already. It's 8 a.m. We promptly reach the last village on our route, Gorakshep. It looks like this. Kala Padhar is behind the village. I can't wait to get there. This is what the last settlement looks like. A restaurant. As good as always, I was very curious to see what the highest village at 5,200 meters would be like. The answer is, it's completely the same. We were worried that there wouldn't be chocolate bars and other stuff, but no, it's all here. Now we'll have breakfast quickly and head out to the base camp. Here's the breakfast. It's so easy to breathe here. It feels wonderful. It's what the road to the base camp looks like. You can get to base camp by horseback for 150 or 200 bucks. It takes about 2 hours to get here from Gorakshep on foot at a relaxed pace. Look between these two mountains, you can see Everest. So, we're finally here. We're almost the only ones here because those who came from Gorakshep have already left, and those who came from Lobuche are yet to come. So here should be the tents. There, people descend. And there is a trail up to Everest, into this opening. Like this. What can I say, my friends? The first part of the mission is accomplished. I'm so proud and it's so easy to breathe. Thank God that we came here, didn't get sick, didn't get injured, and didn't get food poisoning. Many, many thanks. In case anyone is wondering if I have the desire to climb Everest as well, no, I don't want to. I probably wouldn't want to face any more discomfort than I did here. You know, all of these stones, they were raked right off the mountains by the glacier. Stirred it like a mixer. And now they're all here. All multicolored, motley, and shiny. After some time, there are more people here. They've formed a pretty decent line for the photo stone. We need to find a spot to put the Born to Be flag. Okay, we found a nice spot. Now we just need to get it securely in place. Guys, I think today's mission is accomplished.
We've come, done everything. It was amazing.
Mission accomplished. How do you like the view? We moved into a new room. You know what I'm curious about? How many people have slept on this pillow before I freaking got there? Holy crap. It's 4:55 a.m. It's time to make our final push.
Мы собираемся на наш последний рывок.
Oh my God, Sasha. We woke up at 5 a.m. to be the first to get up and film with a drone. Harka said there's already a bunch of people going in there with flashlights. And unfortunately, I don't think we'll be able to fly the drone. The sun illuminates the outline of Everest. There are a lot of people here. Someone got up at 2 a.m. We got up at 5 a.m. There are about 100 people. Some of them are already heading back. Okay, the last push. We'll reach 5,600 meters. And go home. It'll get easier once the sun comes out because now it's cold and my limbs are frozen. The Savior's Sun. It'll warm me up with its blissful rays. The climb took us a couple of hours at a very relaxed pace, and finally, we reached our goal. The altitude of 5,650 meters.
Everest. Born to be.
We've reached all our goals, accomplished our missions. These 9 days were amazing. With great gratitude, we end our adventure, return to Namche Bazaar, and fly back to Kathmandu. It's hard to eat.
Where are you from?
France.
France.
Yes.
That's it, Everest. Farewell. We're going home.
Я верю в Галу, тому буду. Я верю в пророка Мухаммада. Я верю в Кришну, я верю в Гаруду. Я верю в Иисуса Христа. Я верю в Галу, тому буду. Я верю в Джа, я верю в любовь. Я верю в добро и верить буду. И верить буду.
If you're wondering about the budget for the entire trip, I spent about $5,000 for everything. But you can fit in $2,500 or even less if this is the goal. At the beginning of the video, I said that I wanted a drastic change in my life. So upon returning to Bali, it felt like life was starting from scratch. I have a question for you. You've just watched this video. Those who want to go on such an adventure, raise your hand.